have you gone to the National Organization for Women too as well? Have you gone to them as well, Susan?
No, I haven't reached out to them. I mean, my situation was just like a shocker because I had custody of my son, and then all of a sudden the family court counselor went enforced parenting time, and he turned 17, and he was driving to his dad 50 miles away, and then he didn't come back home, and I thought he got in an accident, and nobody would call me, and so I reported to, I hadn't even been in court, and all of a sudden Judge Gorcyca and her new, I like to call him henchman, but he's called a counselor or a social worker, Rodney Aker, was part of her team, and next thing I know, they've got my husband, they're telling them how to file something on his own, and then they've referred him to a new attorney, who I suspect was getting father's funds right. And before you know it, in a back room without even, we requested an evidentiary hearing, and it's illegal. It's illegal to change an existing custody order without an evidentiary hearing. We asked for an evidentiary hearing. They took us to the back room, and they said, no, we're not giving you one. We're taking custody, physical custody from your son now. We're taking, I never got alimony, but a little bit of child support I got. We're getting rid of that. We'll give you visitation, and you can't have him overnight anymore because Dad claims he's afraid of you. And I was 5'2". My son's now 17 and 5'9", 5'10", and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they came up with this garbage, and they wouldn't even let me have a hearing. And so I said, this is against my constitutional rights. And my attorney looked at me, and the family court counselor and the court referee, who is the attorney on the case for Judge Gorcyca, says, both of them said, you don't have constitutional rights here. So when I see that kind of stuff, I was just, wow. I even the same thing happened to me. Well, so I got to try to finish. I got off subject. Let me try to answer my here it's not easy. So when that happened, and then we tried to come back, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I actually went and found out, that he didn't fight for my rights enough, even though I thought he was. I was just in shock. We walked in there, and he said, nothing will happen. You'll get your custody. And they won't change the existing order. And I walked out going, I can't believe that happened. So I went on the internet, and I started searching. I found out it was against the state of Michigan, and had gone to appeals court. However, nobody was enforcing it. And so at that point, we tried to fight it. My attorney said the next thing was to go back and do this and that. And I said, this isn't working, so I got a new attorney to do this and that. And then the judge kept putting it off. He didn't care that he was driving 100 miles round trip across interstate traffic and then staying sometimes in an empty house. And she said, he's 17, he can drive, I don't care. It's snowing in Michigan. Who cares that a kid? No, I'm the only one that's worried that he's driving through bumper-to-bumper traffic, just more than 50 miles each way, every day to school now, staying with his dad. The judge didn't care. So there was no time to appeal or call anybody, but I did do research, and in the aftermath, like I said, Mark, I had been reaching out to for other political reasons and following the National Organization of Women and reading their emails and realizing that they no longer represented me. They became this huge feminist movement, in my opinion, reading them that only cared about progressive politics and the UN Agenda 21 and pushing that. They didn't care about mothers.
Right.
Everything I read, and so I just didn't reach out to them. In fact, I quit. I emailed them that I no longer thought they represented me, and if they wanted to call me, they could. Otherwise, I was going to leave this group, and I never heard from anything, and I had to leave it up. So,
another thing
hopefully that answered his question. Very long.
Uh,
I have a good one.
I have a great question for both ladies here. You probably heard of this organization, right? Equal Rights Amendment, the ERA. You probably heard of that, haven't you? Have you heard of those?
Okay.
Yeah,
The Equal Rights Amendment?
Yeah. Yeah, ERA. Have you
No,
heard?
I haven't heard of that. I heard about a lot of things, and I'm great with all the things out there, but what's the Equal Rights Amendment?
The ERA is a feminist minority rights activation administration where actually they do have work. They work with the National Organization for Women. They're part of that organization. It's just a separate. It's not as big or powerful as that, but
Okay,
it's
so there's a segment of
yeah.
that. But you know what I found, and this is my concern, having read what they have put out over the years and watching.
Yeah, ERA.
My opinion is fine. I think I have read a lot of things where people are pushing, and they're trying to push legislation where they're trying to convince women who have been in this situation that the problem is the United States.
Right.
The problem is the U.S. Constitution. That the problem is our courts, and it's the U.S. Constitution. So they should all instead give up on the U.S. Constitution, sign petitions to the United Nations, and appeal to the United Nations to help.
I guess.
I believe is the one that's behind them.
I guess who's on the board of the ERA, by the way? Lisa, Judge Lisa.
Lisa? Oh, good to know. Good time, Mark.
She's on the board of the Equals Right Amendment. She's on the.
No way.
Yep. She's on the board.
Lisa. She's a data quickie.
Yeah, she's on the board. She's on the board of the Equal Rights Amendment. Yeah, she's on that. She's also part of the feminist movement. It's a political supporter group for Congress that's getting money by what's in the bill, what Nancy Pelosi passed, as well as Dianne Feinstein. Isn't that wonderful?
She's getting some of this money from the Department of HHS.
Yeah, I guess stimulus money. Yeah, stimulus money. And because remember, we got to see what's in the bill that passed Obamacare. Remember that? We have to pass. We have a.
Obamacare. I don't like Obamacare. I'm with you on that one.
I don't.
That's another because the UN Agenda 21 is taking over medicine and healthcare,
Right.
taking over land, taking over water, taking over energy,
Yep.
taking over wetlands, and taking over people and food and everything else.
Right. That's right.